We are recording Momento Day of El Silencio.
Oh.
There was something I was gonna for like S's. That would have been like the perfect thing, but I can't remember what it was. S's and ch's and S noises, and sometimes chamoy.
Chamoy, Shela, Shingona, Con, Chamoy y Chamarindo.
Saborizada. Well, that ought to do it. Okay, salad be upon you, Daniel.
Salad.
Let's do this.
That's our hands going.
It confused Dutch. He does not like it. All right, let's go. Welcome to Doing Learning, everybody. It's McKyler. And from here, I can see Daniel.
Hi.
He's way over there.
I am. I'm pretty far away this time.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi.
How are you, folks? You didn't say hello, every folks. I can't see the folks from here.
You didn't.
Every folks.
All the folks.
All of them.
Even the ones that in the way back.
Strong start, team. Strong start. All right, Daniel. It's time that we talk about this one.
It's time to duel.
It's time to duel to the Shadow Realm. No, we're not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! But this one is inspired by my nephew, who had a really good question that his dad was trying to explain to him. And then he was trying to explain to me how he's trying to explain it to him. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense that it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So he's trying to teach him like what a month is.
Okay.
Like, how do you explain, how do you teach a young child what a month is? Like, what do you tell him?
That's funny because it's like on the base, like just going in, you're just like, well, it's a collection of days just kind of like bunched up together, right?
Okay.
But yeah.
It's like, what do you expect from a child when you tell them something is going to happen in 1 month or 4 months? I don't know. So that's, I was like, okay. I threw my hands up too. I was like, I don't know, man. Good luck. But I was like, you know what? I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. So I want to talk about time, but kind of more specifically, why we use the time system that we do, kind of how we got here. The calendar, and all of like the weirdness. It's got a heck of a story. So it's going to be a bit story time. We're just going to walk through, of course, ironically, maybe not, through time to describe the history of the calendar and the history of time, I guess. A lot of very weird surprises in this one. So buckle up, everybody. Let's do this. We're talking about time and the calendar. But before we talk about the calendar, like what a year is and how we got to like defining a year, well, there's two things that are important to define, like what a year cosmically is.
Okay.
And then the immediate next thing is like what a day is. Right. So, I mean, they make sense to us because we experience them. A year is, of course, how long it takes the Earth to orbit the sun.
Right.
And a day is how long it takes the Earth to spin in place once.
Right.
We know these things.
Yeah.
It turns out the definition it's weirder than that, right? It's like, okay, do you know, Daniel, off the top of your head, why we have leap years?
Yes. Because it's not 365 days. It's 365 point, whatever.
Exactly. It's 0.2422 specifically. 2422. And it's that little decimal point. It has like wrecked and made a huge mess of how people look at a year for like the last 7,000 years, we'll say. Okay. So let's sneak up on it. Let's kind of sneak up.
Yeah.
So first of all, okay, why is it important to know what a year is and like where we are in the year?
Yeah.
Historically, it maybe makes more sense than what it matters now. I would say for the vast majority of people, more than anything, it's about farming, right? Like you got to know like, oh, season's changing, but like this year was really weird. Like we barely didn't even have winter, right? So it's like, when do you plant?
Yep.
It's weird. So like that kind of idea is like, well, maybe don't do your flowers yet, everybody, because it could still freeze. And we know that being in Colorado, it's like you need to wait until Mayish. Well, when's Mayish, right? You don't like cosmically, you don't know exactly where you are other than you can kind of tell by how the sun is and you can back calculate it and whatever. And we have it easy. Like we just look at the thing and it tells us. But that's kind of why that's why it was important. That's why people long ago needed to track it, is to figure out when it was time to do things. So I guess I could go a couple of ways, farming or even like hunting, gathering, like, you know, in the fall is whatever season for some animal to be more active or something, right? It's like mating season. So they're going to be more active and out and less cautious,
right? That
sort of thing. So it's good to plan those types of things, but, the orbit being, a year being 365.2422 days makes it really strange. The other thing that makes it really strange is the moon. Cause that's a pretty natural thing to look at. Like if you just track lunar cycles, you get pretty close to a year, right? So, almost though. So there's a little more than 12 lunar cycles in a year.
Okay.
Right. So the lunar cycle takes 29 and a half days. So if you multiply that by 12, you get 354 days. So then you're short by 11 days. So if you follow just the moon, then your year drifts by 11 days per year. So eventually, like everything just moves. Like you're having summer in December, and it like everything flips upside down.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, and honestly, 11 days is really fast for things to shift. So, people long ago, they figured that out. Like they knew like the third moon after whatever. I don't know, when you can track it with shadows and stuff like that. So when they do like, okay, the third moon after this one should be this, but with it drifting, they're like, hang on, now it's this, whatever. So then they've had to look at it. People have been tracking it for like whatever, forever, tracking phases of the moon and getting close. But the first confirmed calendar was made from the Sumerians.
Okay.
Which they were the ones, we talked about them in beer. They were kind of the first ones to make beer too. So they're just, I don't know. There are all kinds of inventive, but the Sumerians, right? This was like modern day Iraq, the Tigris and Euphrates Valley, that whole area, the Fertile Crescent. Okay. They were the first ones to make a calendar. They divided the year into 12. They divided the year into 30-day months, which is 12 plus some change, right? And then they divided the day into 12 periods because they liked the number 12.
That's literally the only reason?
Yes, exactly. So they really like the number 12 in a lot of ways because you can divide it in a lot of ways. Like 2 and 3 and 4 and 6. It's like, oh yeah, nice round dividing. So that got really, really close. So we actually have a really good basis to go off of for thousands of years. The Egyptians took that and they adopted it into they figured it out. It's 365 days, pretty much, in a 12-month year. So you got to scatter the extra couple of days in, right? The extra like 5 days somewhere in the year. But yeah, their system was really simple. Every month had 30 days. There's 12 of them. And then at the end of the year, there's 5 extra festival days that just don't have a name. They're just 5 party days for free.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So they live their lives. They're like, okay, whatever they call them, January, February, March, whatever. And you get to December and they're like, okay, cool. Next year starts in 5 days, but we're at the end of the year. So everybody gets, I don't know if they actually did that, 5 days off, everybody party.
Yeah.
But they were more or less, yes, just bonus festival days.
What?
Yeah. So they're like, what do you do with the 5 days? Like all of the other ones are nice and even.
Yeah, right.
Let's just cram them at the end and wait for the next year to start, which works pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's like a little breather before the new year.
Yeah, which honestly it's very refreshing sounding, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I kind of like it a lot.
I kind of like it too, especially because like, oh my gosh, with the months like 30, 31, 28, what? Like, dude, come on.
Do you still get that wrong like at the beginning of the month?
I've never got it right.
Yeah, right. Oh man. I still like mess up the years more than anything. But yeah, every now and again, months or whatever, I'll be like, wait a second, what is like April 31st or whatever. Yeah. You're like, wait, does that sound right? Anyway, we'll talk about where all that comes from, okay, because it does come from something.
I'm sure it does.
So this system works, except for the decimal 0.2422.
Of course.
They're still missing out on that time. It's not like you can just add 5.2422 days at the end of the year, right? It's not like you could just add a partial day.
On leap year, you add an extra day on the end of the year.
Exactly. So they figured it out eventually, but like, so this, we're getting really close. We're within a quarter of a day, a little less than a quarter of a day. So we're getting really, really close. But okay, that's kind of how we started with like a broad year with some oddness left. Hadn't figured that out, but let's pause for a second and talk about a day.
Okay.
How do we define a day, Daniel?
24 hours.
24. Why? What's an hour?
60 minutes.
You're getting ahead of me. Why is 60 minutes crammed into a 24-hour division? Why 60? Why 24? Why 60 again?
I don't know. Because somebody smart somewhere said it.
I don't know. They were pretty smart. They got pretty close. It's not for a good reason.
Of course.
So
you're about to blow my mind here.
No, I'm about to underwhelm you. Do you remember how the Egyptians liked 12? Or the Egyptians like number 12 too. So Sumerian, they're close-ish area.
Right.
I don't know if it was culturally significant or what, but
probably like a lucky number or whatever.
Something like that, yeah. So it's significant to them. So not only did they do 12 months in a year, they're like, okay, cool. Let's take daylight and split it into 12. So we're going to have day and night. Day is split into 12. So there's 12 chunks of day. So then they're like, okay, well, let's just split the night into 12 chunks as well. Boom. Okay, 24. Good enough. So you have your favorite number. The day is important. And then you just say, well, let's just do the night too. So you take 12 and multiply it by 2. Boom.
24.
24.
25.
20. It would have made just as much sense. So that's pretty much it. The weird part though, Daniel, if you heard me right, I said that they split the daylight into 12 chunks.
Yeah.
What do we know about how the daylight functions over the course of a year?
It doesn't always start at the same time.
It's different lengths every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's different every day. So hours were not always the same length through the year.
Oh, no.
And sometimes day hours were longer than night hours. Which to me is like, why even track them at all? Like it makes no sense to even pay attention to them.
So like it could be like, oh, 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock right now. just kidding, it's 3 o'clock now because 2 o'clock just.
Yeah, like in the summer. Yeah, you, like I don't know, noon is noon, but then you only have 6 hours until sunlight or till sundown. But like in today's hours, it could be 1 hour, but it could be 1.5 hours,
right,
or whatever, to get the sun to set at like 9 o'clock. Our time. Oh my gosh. That's the whole thing. Is like, this is so mind bending. And that's why I'm like, I'm completely siding with my nephew on this whole thing. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. And he's totally right. So get this, Daniel. Fixed length hours did not become standard until mechanical clocks first appeared in Europe in the 14th century.
When was it again that they were doing the chunks? What?
As early as like 3000 BC. Thousands of years.
And it wasn't until the 14th century?
Yes.
Oh my.
And honestly, they probably would have left it, except for it was a lot more difficult to make a mechanical clock change accurately throughout every day of the year. So then it's like, well, we got to lock this down.
Yeah. So
it was actually, this is funny. The Greek astronomer Hipparchus, I guess, around 150 BC, first proposed the fixed 24-hour days around the equinox. So he kind of had it figured out.
Okay.
Like that is about as accurate as you can get it, an hour to an hour from today to back then, whatever. That's about as close as you can get it. But they just didn't, nobody picked up on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just wild. It's just wild to think, like, how did governments operate? Like, I think they were just like we meet tomorrow at sunup or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you have to generalize it, or it's like, I'm binging the bell. Like everybody, that means now.
Right.
Or in
how
whatever.
do you do like co-op things? You know,
I don't know. Like, how do you schedule anything?
Yeah.
How did traders do it? How do you do commerce? And you know what I mean? And I think you basically just did it when the sun rose and stopped when the sun went down. Like you just base your entire life around the daylight.
Yeah.
And I think it's so foreign to us because we don't have to do that.
Right.
And then often we don't.
Yep.
Right. I mean, I suppose maybe farmers to a lot of degrees still do that, but also they kind of just work until the job's done because they can work into the night. They can start early. Right. They have lights on their equipment and whatever. Yep. But back in the day, you didn't. So when it got dark, you can't do anything.
You got torches.
Yeah, I guess. burn your corn down. So I don't know. So there you go. There's as good of an explanation as I can get of why there's 24 hours in a day. So I hope that was extremely satisfying to you and blew your mind.
I mean, it blows my mind in the sense that there's it is what it is because somebody said let's do it this way. Not there's no like.
Yeah, and everybody just threw their hands up. They're like, okay, I don't have anything better. Anybody got any better ideas? Look around the room.
I mean, I guess that's kind of how money is too, though. Like we believe that this is a $1 bill.
Money as a whole. Yes. Yes. That is its whole thing. That makes no sense. Let alone the stuff that we have nowadays. My goodness. Like, money is not even, it's not even real. It's just like some magic that happens in the background. I don't know.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother thing. We're not getting into it. I did not research that, Daniel. I have no idea. No clue. Gold standard would be a fun episode though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's talk. You told me earlier an hour is 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I guess did you learn the answer between the last time you told me you had no idea?
Well, it's an hour 60 minutes because a minute is 60 seconds.
So we're just digging deeper.
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm sorry, Daniel. I have to tell you, it's because the Babylonians liked the number 60. And this is actually mind-blowing. The Babylonians, they used a base 60 number system. We use base 10.
Oh, yeah.
So like, it's hard for me to think about like what exactly that means. You know what I mean? Like binary is base 2. We use base 10, base 60. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just bizarre.
What is base 60?
Like think of a number and let's convert it into base 60. Like to me, it's
2.7 billion.
Okay. Just round, nice and round. Okay.
Do you want me to go more complicated?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. So I can't even. I don't know what to do with this numbers. My robot is thinking about it real quick. This doesn't make sense. So the base 60 digits are 3, 28, 20, 0, 0, 0.
I don't even know what you just said to me.
So it's like, you know how like in the ones place, you can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when you get to 10, it goes 0. And then the next one to the left goes up by 1.
Yes.
To represent, say, 61, or actually, let's say 60.
Uh-huh.
The number 60 in base 60 would be 60, 0. Or sorry, 1, 0 is 60. So 10 is equal to 60. It might like visually, it's literally like 60.
Yeah.
Like you've seen like hex codes or binary hex codes where they put them in like groups of 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like that. So when you get to 60, the one to the left goes up by 1 rather than the one on the right. So to represent 63 would be 1, 3. So if I told you 13 in base 60, I'm actually saying 63.
Oh my gosh. Why?
Honestly, I think it's crazy. I don't know. I have heard crazy things that their math is like really easy because of it, but it makes no sense to me.
I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah, it's so strange. But the reason they do that is because it's like I was joking earlier, but I'm serious, is that it's divisible by a lot of numbers. 60 is the most divisible number under 100 that's not 100.
Really?
Yes. So you can divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, and 30 evenly. The only one that beats it is 100 within the first 100 digits.
Right.
Guess. The first 100 numbers, whatever. So there you go. So hang with me on this one because this is weird. Here's the chain. Babylonians use base 60. The Greeks were like, okay, that's kind of cool. Let's use that for measuring the sky. So they used it to divide the sky, which is like a circle, basically, right? Like if you're just staring at a point in the sky, like your zenith point,
right?
It's a circle.
Yeah.
So they used it to divide circles, and then that got you, and then dividing that into 60 parts. So that's how you get your latitude and longitude. It's like literally when you're saying, you know how it's when you're doing coordinates, they'll tell you like
60 degrees north, 30 degrees west.
Yes, but then you can divide degrees into more parts. Do you know what those are called? Like Google does it in decimal points. Sometimes you can do 180.352 degrees. You can also represent those as minutes and seconds. So that actually came first prior to like time.
Whoa.
Yes. So latitude and longitude is actually why we use minutes and seconds for time.
That's actually crazy.
That's pretty weird, right?
Yeah.
So if you divide the sky up like that, you divide a degree then into 60 parts, and then you divide each of those 60 parts in more 60 parts. That gives you really, really accurate pointing for doing astronomy.
Right.
So then you can just map that to, well, how long does it take you to traverse, you know, like a day or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, every hour, because you split it in a certain way, or maybe whatever, they divided the circle into, I think, like 12 or 24 parts, right? And then so because those are basically your hours, those split into minutes, and there's 60 of them per chunk. Whatever. You kind of see where I'm getting.
Yeah.
So it's actually how the Earth is moving defines what an hour is, because it takes 24-ish times 24-ish times 60 minutes for the Earth to experience a day. Yeah.
Dude, it blows my mind, and I live in a modern day. I can't imagine these guys trying to figure this out.
They're amazing, right? Just the fact that they figured all this stuff out without modern technology.
Yeah.
They're just like sitting around like, we got to break the sky up, man. We got to figure this out. You know what I mean? For that to be like your most important thing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You're just, it almost would look like just somebody just sitting out there doing nothing.
Just be like staring at the sky, like, come on. Think of something.
Yeah.
Like, let's split it into 60 parts. Or let's split these 12 things into 60 parts, because we knew the day was 24 hours. So.
Right.
My goodness. So it's all because people liked the numbers. So there you go. And then apparently, to make this even worse, Daniel, the 60-minute hour wasn't popularized into the end of the 16th century, when mechanical clocks got good enough to show minutes. Previously, they just showed hours.
Oh, really?
So like when I told you the 14th century, and they kind of defined an hour, that's all they defined.
It's like hour one.
Yeah. They're like, all we got is the hour hand. Good enough. Good enough. And it kind of is, because when you're halfway between two numbers, it's whatever, 30, right?
Yeah.
Like the hour hand naturally
right
is kind of where it needs to be. It's just not as precise.
Yeah.
So you could probably get it within 10 minutes for sure with just an hour hand.
Yeah.
So I would guess. I don't know. So there you go. That's how we got there. So then let's make this fancier. Let's make this more interesting.
Why is it seconds?
It's the same exact reason, actually. So
why is it nanoseconds?
Why? Honestly, that's a fair question, because at that point you start dividing it by 100. Right? Then it starts getting kind of metric and decimal based at that point.
Oh my gosh. Sure.
Like a millisecond.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 milliseconds in a second. Yeah. So all of a sudden you go to metric when it gets small enough in time. We will talk about metric time here in a little bit.
Okay.
But not yet. Not yet, but everybody. Hang on. That's later. Chill out. Chill out, the folks. Golly, they start getting rowdy.
They did. Sheesh. I heard them.
Dude. Daniel, let's talk about the Romans.
As one does. Let's do it.
We typically do sometimes. Romans were like, cool, we need a calendar. I don't know how they got here. This is just how they did it. We're going to just jump into what the Romans were doing long ago. Attributed to Romulus, original homie.
Okay.
The OG, one of the OGs, right?
Yeah.
Of Rome.
Hence the name.
I don't even know how to, their calendar, Daniel, had 10 months, 304 days.
Where are you now?
Dude, they had a struggle for a long time. This is so funny. You can do, the math is pretty simple. 304 is 61 days short of a year.
Mm-hmm.
The Romans got to winter and they just went, nope. Nope. I'm serious.
There's like no work.
Honestly, there's like farming basically came to an end until spring.
Yeah.
They couldn't do a lot of other stuff until spring. So they're just like, no, we're done. We're going to wait until this is over. And then the year starts again. So they had just 61 days of just like, nope, nothing. We're done. That's it. Year's over.
That's insane to just say that.
Just like officially, dude. Just like, not mine. Not for me. Which is kind of how I feel about winter sometimes. This winter was really warm. Yeah. So it was whatever. It only snowed like 2 times. But yeah, a lot of times it's like, okay, let's chunk this time off as just everybody go home and wait. So I feel that. But Daniel, this is why I told you 10 months. Would you guess which 10 months?
Which 10? I'm gonna go ahead. They had the later half of the year.
Exactly. January and February did not exist.
Yeah.
March was the start of the year. The word March, wherever they got the name, it was, I can't remember. I'm trying to look. Somewhere in my notes, I'll stumble upon it of why March was the beginning of the year. Like it was named after someone or something like that. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But this is exactly why the later months of the year are September, October, November, December, and they don't correspond to their Latin root, right? December is not the 10th month.
Yeah.
It used to be.
Yeah.
November is not the 9th month, but it used to be. And then furthermore, a lot of the other months also had Latin root month names. Like July would have been like Quintember.
Oh, that's cool.
And August was like Sextember, and May would have been like Quadember. I don't know. Some of those were real. Like I know for a fact, July was Quintember. I think I got that right. Yeah, it's just fifth month is all it really meant. That's all it translated to. So then, yeah, they in 713 BC, King Numa Pompilius, which is a heck of a name, added January and February. So January was named after Janus, the two-faced Roman god of beginnings, doorways, and transition. So he's symbolized by a face looking forward and a face looking backwards, which is very symbolic of the end of the year, except January is not the last month of the year. But December was.
Yeah.
And March was the first. So like it works now. And that's why January is the beginning of the year now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why. So then there you go. And then February came from Februa, a purification festival. No idea what that means. No clue. Let's see. So then this is it gets more interesting. So at this point, the total number of days once they so Daniel, they added, I don't know how they figured this. They added January and February, but February had 30 days. So they added in, I got something weird right here. Because the time was off or something like that, periodically they had to add extra days or an entire month because their calendar was off and they kind of knew it.
Yeah.
So about every 2 or 3 years, they added something called Mercedonius, which is just extra days or whatever. What makes this interesting is that who's in control of this? Who decides when and how many days to add to a year?
Yeah.
Well, the Romans were awfully political. There was a committee of priests called the Pontiffs. Specifically the Pontifex Maximus made the decision. It was supposed to be astronomical, but it was entirely political. So what they ended up doing was, if the Pontifex Maximus liked the emperor or whoever was ruling at the time,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? That year's a little bit longer.
No.
You don't like somebody? Sorry, we don't need the extra days this year. Your term is shorter. Not kidding. And they could add however many days they wanted to.
What?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, we're missing like 3 days. Let's add 3 days. It's like,
No.
oh, we like this guy. Let's add 40 days.
Yes. It was, yeah. They're like, we consulted the stars and we did the calculations and we actually need to add 32 days. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, they would. So the next person would just get screwed. I mean, it just screws everything.
Yes, Daniel, it does. It very much does. And this gets so bonkers. So this is bad. This is so bad. By the 50s BC, it was months out of sync, completely off track of what it should have been, because they just kept the same schedule. But like, science didn't quit. Yeah, I mean, the Earth is still doing its thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were doing their harvest celebrations before harvest. They were, or well after. I mean, like, oh my gosh. So, this one's really funny, interesting. Julius Caesar's co-consul Bibulus, I think is how you say it. Who is trying to block Caesar's legislation in 59 BC, he declared all the remaining days of the year to be religious holidays so that legal assembly could not meet. He's just like, okay, guess what, everybody? From now to the end of the year, religious holidays, no politics. You can't pass your law.
There you go.
So if you, I mean, politics now is crazy.
Yeah.
Come on. That's one guy making that decision.
Yeah.
I mean, they as committees do that now.
Right.
But they're like, oh, guess what? You're not going to pass this law because we decided we're going to be weird. How brutal is that?
That's, yeah.
So, okay. We're getting crazy here. Julius Caesar was like, bro, I'm over it. I'm fixing this because guess what? I am dictator. I am Pontifex Maximus. So what I say goes. He can do whatever he wants at this point. So what he did is he brought in an Egyptian astronomer, because apparently the Egyptians were crazy astronomers, named Sosigenes of Alexandria.
Nice.
I think. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, fix it. Just fix it. Fix it. Right?
Look at it. Look at it.
Look at it. Sosigenes' solution. This sounds familiar, Daniel. A year is 365 days, and there's one extra day every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this calendar is based on the sun and not the moon. Cool. We got it. We figured it out. Except for we know for that actually is not quite right. We'll get there. It's very close. It gets part of the decimals.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you 365.25 days, right? If you take a 4-year period averaged.
Right.
But it's not 25. It's not 0.25. It's 0.2422, which makes a difference. We'll talk about it in a second. So this is awesome. They were so out of sync and they got this figured out. And he's like, okay, bro, cool. When does the year start? Like they kind of knew, but like their months had changed. So it just like was what it was.
Right.
So they go, okay, cool. We need to put January back on January and get everything to line up again. So what Caesar did was he said, all right, guys, I'm Pontifex Maximus. I'm adding a Mercedonius of 23 days plus 2 new months of 33 and 34 days.
Okay.
So 46 BCE was 445 days long.
Oh my gosh. Just to try to fix everything?
Yeah. So he just said, you know what? We're shoving it all forward or whatever. We're putting January on January.
Yeah.
And it was like closer to just push it than it was to pull it, I guess. And it was like, all right, guess what? Today is whatever, April 15th or something like that. You know,
right.
Instead of doing that, he's like, we're just going to make the correct January be January in a while. So 445 days long. I think it's the longest year ever.
445? Yeah.
It is literally known as the year of confusion. Because honestly, like, if you're renting or you are renting something out, you're a landlord. What are you supposed to do? Are you still charging per month? Do you charge per day? The months are completely weird numbers. So do you change it? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I honestly don't know.
At that point, I'd be like, every year you're giving me this much.
Like, I think they just had to do that. They're just like, you know what? Whatever we're both comfortable with for a little while, or we're going to wait till January and it's going to be solid after that. But bureaucratic deadlines were crazy. Tax collectors didn't know what the heck to do.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that aspect. That'd
because Romans are crazy about taxes, right? They're like, okay, cool, let's do this. So I can't even imagine what that would be like. Just like, if you got to like June this year and you're like, you know what? It's not 6 months left, guys. It's 8. What? Wild.
I feel like you're just swindling me.
Right. Yeah. It's really driven the fact home that like time, at least our representation of time in many ways, is completely made up.
Yeah.
There's some actualness to it, and there's like a scientific time, but time that like establishes the human experience is different than scientific time. So that's my stance, I think. So, okay. The Julian calendar is what that was called. Worked awesome, right? The leap year every 4 years worked great for about 1600 years until that 0.0122, or no, it's not even that. 0.0078 days per year.
Yeah.
Added up. You take that, you multiply it by 1600, you get like 11 days.
Okay.
Right. So after a long time, it will drift, right? So, yeah. So before we move on a little bit, this is very, very fun. The Romans are so ridiculous. They're so dumb. So awesome, ridiculous, did some cool stuff, did some dumb stuff, man. But they were just making it up. They're like, you know what? Cool. We're doing this. We're deciders. We're making it up. So, okay, he fixed the calendar. Everyone's like, you're amazing. Guess what we're doing? Oh, it's called Quintilis, was the 5th month. Quintilis.
Cool name.
That was renamed to July for Julius, right? July is, whatever. They got to July from Julius. That's how that came to be.
Wait, but Quintilis was
5.
Yeah, 5?
Yeah.
But now it's the 7th month.
Right, because they added 2 at the beginning. So Quintilis became July, which kind of honestly makes more sense because it's not the 5th one anymore.
Yes.
They probably should have renamed all the other ones as well.
I think it's too late now.
It's a little late. Like, could you imagine somebody trying to rename a month right now? Like, just rename it. Not even change anything about it, just the name.
No.
Not the number, not nothing. I don't know that. I don't think it works.
No.
I think people freak out.
Yeah.
They riot. Anyway.
I'd be like, no, it's December. It's December. You can't change my mind. I understand.
Right?
It's like,
it's not worth the effort to try to think. Like, no, I can't even get 25 to 26. You can't even get the number of days in a month, right? Now you got to remember that the month is a different name. Anyway,
that would take a whole lot of generations of relearning.
Yes,
the new one.
Yes, it certainly would. So it got worse then when Caesar got assassinated. His son Octavian took over, and he changed his name to Emperor Augustus, which might sound familiar. Augustus was not happy because he, of course, then changed. I think it would be Sextilius. Yeah, Sextilius. He changed that into August. He's like, my dad got to change a month. I'm changing a month, naming it after me.
Oh, yeah. Of
Problem, Daniel.
Oh.
Problem. How many days does August have?
30?
Yeah. How many does July have?
31? 20? 30? I don't know.
That was a mean question, huh? They both have 31.
Okay.
They didn't always both have 31. Octavian Augustus was jealous that July had 31 days and his month only had 30.
Oh my gosh. No, you can't tell me this is a reason.
I'm not kidding you. You know where he got that extra day?
From February?
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God.
Which had 30 days.
Romans are so petty. Oh my gosh.
So when they did all of this other cleanup, they did have to take a month off of February to make it work.
Day?
Yeah. And so then it had 29, and then Augustus stole a day from February to give it to 28. And that's why February gets the leap year, is because it's kind of like the trash month that people just, I don't know. Like, why they're just like, it's the last one in. They're like, whatever. It's the least important month.
Wow. Because it was for whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So
you can't just do that though.
Why not? There's no definition of any of this stuff. They're making it up. How petty is that?
The fact that we've supported him for
ever
millennia.
Yes. And for the rest of them too, probably. So here we go. Oh, I had it wrong. When we're doing our math here, right? And we're short by 0.0078 days per year. You're overestimating by 11 minutes per year. That's what adds up. So it's 11 minutes per year times 1600. So basically every 128 years adds up to a day. So then it was about 10 days off 1600 years later. So this is fun. Here comes the Catholic Church. This was important because Easter it's based off of it's actually calculated relative to the equinox.
Okay.
Right? Because Easter moves every year, right? You ever thought about like how?
I know, actually.
It's the first Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox.
The first Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox.
So this year, Easter is on April 5th. I think the full moon is like on April 3rd, and we just had the equinox.
Okay. Huh.
So there you go. That's why it changes, and it's always within like the same 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, because a moon's lunar cycle is 29 days.
Gotcha.
So it can only ever drift by as much as the moon can drift. So
gotcha.
If the equinox is a new moon, that's as late as it can be, and if it's a full moon, that's as early as Easter can be. So there you go.
I'm glad that the calendar keeps up with that, because I would not be able to.
Right?
I would forget.
So, but this gets weird then. So by the 1570s, the equinox is supposed to be on March 21st. At this point in time, there was a drift. And so the equinox, this hurts my brain, and I gotta think about it. The equinox by 1570 had shifted to March 11th. Like the actual, like they were saying it was March 21st, but it was actually March 11th.
Okay.
And so I think basically what ends up happening is that Easter slowly drifts to the right, and eventually you get like a summer Easter, and it just throws everything off. Because they did it not on the equinox, but on the 21st, which is supposed to be the equinox, I think. I think that's what kind of explains it.
Okay.
Because if they did it on the equinox, it doesn't matter what day it is, right?
Yeah.
But they did it on the 21st, which is, it's moving too fast.
Right.
So eventually.
It just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pope Gregory the 13th was like, we can't have that. We gotta keep Easter where it's at. We gotta keep everything cool. So he got a whole bunch of people, astronomers, mathematicians, all kinds of people, and he's like, fix it again, right? This is pretty simple. They're like, okay, well, how do you make the average days per year the right number to get to even it out? This is all they did to fix it. It's so simple. They kept the leap year system, but they skipped the leap year on century years, right? 1900, 2000, 1800, whatever. They skipped it unless that year is divisible by 400.
Why?
That gives you the right math. It gets you to 365.2425 days per year average.
Some people had way too much time on their hands.
That's literally all what they had to do. He said, fix it. Don't leave the room until you fix it, right? Basically. And so if you do the math and you add the right amount of days over the right amount of time, you can stay accurate pretty close. So that's accurate to within 1 day every 3,000 years. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. So because at this point they had drifted 11 days, Daniel, you're going to love this. To fix it, October 4th, 1582 was followed immediately by October 15th, 1582.
Some poor kid's like, we skipped my birthday.
Yes. Like we have the jokes of just like people like, imagine being born on a leap day.
Yeah.
It's like these guys don't have, some people, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, people on October 10th had no birthday that year. Contracts due in those 10 days were suddenly overdue. People were convinced that the Pope had stolen 10 days of their lives. Oh, man.
Could you... Let's take this scenario. Because you said it went from the 4th to the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yep.
If you... And we have time, right? At this point? Like
hours and minutes, seconds? Yeah.
Somebody's in labor. 11:59 on the 4th.
A 10-day labor.
They have their first kid. They are having twins.
Twins 10 days older than the other one. Oh my gosh.
That's the story I want to hear.
Yeah. There's no reason why it didn't happen. Why not? Right?
There has to be. Right?
There has to be. Wow. That's amazing. Gosh, I hadn't thought of that one. I like that one. Oh man. That's like, oh yeah, twins born in separate years. You know what I mean? When it's like over New Year's.
Right.
That's way better. Oh man. Okay. So this is fun. This is good still. So because the Catholic Pope was doing this in the 1500s, which when Protestantism really branched off there, it's like one of the bigger, kind of considered the first time a little bit, when people started breaking off from the Catholic Church, they were like, we're not doing that. We're not accepting that.
Mm-hmm.
So they were on a different day than everybody else. So in the Catholic world, it was October 15th, 15th, but in the rest of the world, it was October 5th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is amazing. So that was in like 1582, right?
Yeah.
Britain and the American colonies did not switch until 1752.
So they were at a stalemate. Like, no, we're not following you until 200 years later?
170 years later.
200.
Yes. And this is amazing. Over that time, Daniel, there was a 1700 was not a leap year, so then they had to skip 11 days, not just 10. This is even better, and this is fun. Russia, they did not switch until 1918 when the Bolsheviks took over and Lenin signed a decree.
1918?
Yes. This is better. I don't know if I'm going to teach you some stuff right here. So January 31st, 1918 was followed. January 31st, 1918 was followed by February 14th, 1918. 13 days. 13 days of Russian history do not exist, that do exist for everybody else.
There's another twin.
Hang on, Daniel. This is amazing too. The Russian Orthodox Church still has not switched.
To this day?
To this day. They refuse to because of the Catholic roots. And this, I don't know if you knew this, Russian Christmas is celebrated on January 7th. Because on their calendar, it's December 25th.
Oh. That is
so
wild.
If you want to go back in time, go into a Russian Orthodox church.
So I can have 2 Christmases. That's what you're telling me.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yes, I am.
Like I can start the year with Christmas.
Yeah.
And end the year with Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How nice does that sound?
It sounds wonderful, actually. But to them, it's the end of the year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just, yeah. How, I don't know if you knew that Russians celebrate Christmas on not Christmas.
No, I had no clue.
There you go. I had recently heard that from something completely outside, and then I just happened to stumble into why.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, mind blown. Freaking awesome.
So how many days off are they then?
6 plus 7, 13 days still.
So
there hasn't been enough time to collect another day yet.
So right now it's March 13th.
In the Russian Orthodox Church. Yeah.
But not
Russia.
Not Russia, just the church.
Exactly.
How does that work?
I don't know.
So like when you go to church, you go back in time?
I guess.
That is bizarre. Their history books must be insane.
Yeah. I think generalizing that among all over Russian history is pretty fair. It's probably crazy stuff. Because they make decisions like this. And they have regime change and they're like, you know what we're not doing? What those guys did.
Yeah.
Just because they're stubborn.
Like trying to do a research paper between like like just like just the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get like, I'm gonna on this day in whatever England this was happening. Let's see what was like. Does that coincide with what was happening in Russia? And you're like, what?
So Daniel, you're saying that the war, like World War II, ended 13 days sooner in Russia than it did everywhere else.
Yes. Like, but like looking at it on paper, you'd be like, wait, what? No,
even though they're the same day.
Yeah.
I don't, it hurts your brain and just makes you just like, no, I'm just ready to move on. Like, no, this is just dumb.
It's just a misprint.
It's just dumb. It's just what they call stuff. I don't know. It continues to get fun. We're not even, oh man, we're getting kind of long, but I have more.
This
more
is good. Stories. This is gold.
Like, I feel like we're just getting into the meat of it. Here we go. We're going to Sweden. Let's see. So when Pope Gregory did the Gregorian calendar in 1582,
mm-hmm.
most of Europe eventually made that leap and just went boom, 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 10 days. Except for Sweden. They're like, you know what? Let's ease into it.
Yeah.
Let's not do it all at once. Let's skip 11 days over 40 years. starting in 1700.
See, I can get behind that because then it just doesn't. It seems so abrupt.
It sounds nice,
but what happened?
So the Great Northern War broke out. Everyone got distracted, and then they accidentally. I don't even know. They accidentally had leap years in 1704 and 1708. They were just going to skip the leap days, basically, for 40 years.
Oh, okay.
So, but then they forgot to do it. So
I guess that's the drawback, because over 40 years, you're going to forget.
So, but they did skip one in 1700.
Okay.
So by 1712, they were 1 day ahead of the Julian calendar and 10 days behind the Gregorian calendar. And they were on their own day.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. So I have to just read this. King Charles XII looked at this mess and decided the only solution was to just give up and go back to the Julian calendar. To do this, they needed to add back in the leap day that they skipped in 1700. But Daniel, 1712 was already a leap year, so they added 2 leap days. So February 29th and February 30th, 1712, both existed in Sweden and nowhere else.
Wow.
And eventually in 1753, they just jumped straight from February 17th to March 1st.
They're just like,
so they just did it anyway. Oh, amazing. So this is a mess. So let's talk about the French. So the French in the late 1700s, early 1800s was super into revolution, right? And they're like, you know what? We're getting everything. Nobody is safe. We're fixing all the problems, right? We're going to fix everything. Okay. So really what they were trying to remove was any trace of royalty or religion from daily life. Because that's what they were fed up with, right? The whole like
religion and what?
Royalty.
And royalty. Okay.
Yeah, that's when like they overthrew their monarchy and all of that stuff. The French Revolution, really interesting. They're like, cool. Guess what? Time and all of the ways that you break up a year are religious or royalty based. So we're getting rid of all of that.
No.
Yep.
No.
So
what year was this, you said?
1793 to 1806 ish. So
I don't understand. No.
So
that's like saying that right now. It's just crazy talk.
It's
man.
not that long ago. Yeah. So what they did is they're like, new system, 12 months of 30 days plus 5 or 6 bonus days at the end of the year, Egyptian style.
Yeah.
Except each month is divided into 3 10-day weeks.
Okay.
Okay. And the months were then actually named after seasons and nature rather than Roman gods and emperors, right?
Okay.
Here's the month names: harvest, mist, frost, snow, rain, wind, germination, flowers, meadow, reaping, heat, and fruit.
I actually kind of like that.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Like this would work awesome in like a fantasy world setting or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Or what might be cool too is even if it's not time based, it's region based or something like that would be really cool. So there anyway, that's pretty cool. It's kind of poetic. It's kind of neat. They didn't stop there, Daniel. They went straight to decimal time. The day now has 10 hours.
Okay.
Each hour has 100 minutes, and each minute has 100 seconds. Fixed it. So, noon is 5 o'clock. midnight was 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And it scales from there, right?
Right.
So 6 p.m. is 2:24 p.m. and so on.
Right.
Like, so like they fixed it. Like, it almost sounds like a decent idea. And I think, like, I've had the thought before too, just like, because it's like, why 24, why 60?
Right.
Why not just do 10 like we do other measurements?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we do time anyway. It just doesn't work because nobody liked it. Like, it was so difficult to switch that it just was impossible. So then in 1806, when Napoleon took over, he reinstated the Gregorian calendar. So in January 1st, 1806, they're back to the normal stuff. He's like, So this is really interesting because this period is exactly where the metric system came out of.
Okay.
The they're SI units, right? I'm not, if you've heard that term, that stands for like System International or something. It's whatever the French pronunciation of that is. That's where the metric system came out of, was the French Revolution.
Oh.
And so it worked great for distances and lengths and stuff like that, because you don't have to, like, it doesn't require, like, time is marching on, right? And then it requires syncing up.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to sync up what a meter is, because it is a meter, right? It doesn't change temporally or anything like that. Like, it just is a meter. And then you don't have to rewire somebody's brain over, like, it's easier to convert from, for us, a foot to centimeters than it is to convert people's brain of, like, what does the morning mean?
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Yep. Like, it's way more difficult to start calling noon 5 o'clock, or like 10, whatever it converts to, like 10:30 is 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't compute.
Right.
It doesn't click. But distances is fine. You can convert pretty easily back and forth between them, because it's just, you put your hands out and go, this.
Yeah.
This is it. You can't do that with time. Okay. So this is interesting. We're doing some weird stuff now here. We're going back to Russia for just a second. The Bolsheviks again. Okay. They're up to their stuff. In 1929, this is when they're like really into socialism. They're going to figure out how to do what they called the continuous work week, which sounds horrible because it is.
No weekends, baby.
This is it. They replaced the 7-day week with a 5-day week, where everyone would work 4 days and then have 1 day off. This is like communism, socialism at its, like, most explicitly defined, right? Everybody has 5 days, 4 of them you work, 1 of them you're off. Everyone is color coded and into 5 color groups, right? Which means they rotate who has the off day. Right? So there's yellow, orange, red, purple, and green. So green people have the 5th day off. Red people would have the 4th day off. So it's a continuous work week. So you always have 80% of your workers in the factory. Always. Every day of the year.
Whoa.
So why this didn't really work out is because... Besides the obvious. Families were literally, like, they were ripped apart because they were assigned different color groups.
Yeah.
So you would pretty much not ever see your family.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the same off day,
then
you're always working. You're never ever off together. You don't see each other. Yeah. So, that didn't work.
Don't say.
But this is interesting. So the reason that they did like the 5-day work week as well, they got rid of weekends, were because of any religious associations with Jewish Sabbath, Christian Sunday, or Muslim Friday. They completely got rid of all of that to get rid of any draw to religion. So that come up again. Stalin switched it back to a 6-day work week in 1931, and in 1940 snuck the 7th day back in. So they kind of like slowly went back to a 7-day work. Very weird. So I'm like, I can't even. Just what a weird thing.
It blows my mind that was 1940s, dude.
Yeah, and they did it for 11 years.
Jeez.
It's just weird. Okay. Here we go. Some weird time facts. Here we go. Rapid fire, but kind of not really. Here we go. Let's reading really quick. Okay. Why 7 days in the week? We didn't talk about that one yet. Babylonians again. They were able to observe 7 planets, or 7 celestial bodies, I should say. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So they were like, cool, 7. Let's do 7.
Oh, Uranus wasn't out there yet?
No, well, they couldn't see it with their eyes. They didn't have telescopes or anything like that. So they're like, the moon is roughly a 28-day cycle. So they split it into 4 chunks of 7 days each because of the celestial bodies. Like, all right, makes enough sense. Why not? So that's why 7 days a week.
Such a random, dude.
It's more or less random. The Romans originally used an 8-day week called the noondanum, whatever.
I feel like I've heard that. I don't know why. Out of all the things you've said, I feel
noondanum.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know. This is really interesting. The Romans switched from an 8-day work week to a 7-day work week in 321 AD when Emperor Constantine decided that was going to happen. And because Constantine famously was a Christian convert, Sunday became the official day of rest, so that way they could align the empire with the Jewish Sabbath.
So just for alignment?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, that makes, yeah.
So that's why Sunday's the day of rest, is because that was the original Sabbath day.
Yeah.
So that's why that is. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. Because
I see your brain going.
Well, you're saying the Sabbath Sunday, but what always interested me, kind of deviating a little bit, is that I'm saying we have people, the majority, or people that go to church, go to church on Sunday, right?
Yep.
Because it's like, I don't know if this is directly correlates, but it's like, is it because it's the beginning of the week, or is it because it's the day that God said, like, on the 7th day he rested?
Right. That's exactly why it's the Sabbath day. It is the 7th day. It is like the last day of the week.
Yet
I'm not exactly sure why a lot of cultures do put on our calendars.
Right.
Sunday is on the left, Saturday is on the right.
Right.
And you know this, in Mexico, Monday is on the left and Sunday's on the right.
Right.
Because that's how they structure it. The Sabbath day is the last day of the week. It's the day of the rest. That's your Sunday.
Yeah. See, that's
so
always
Monday's the first day of the week.
That's always mind-boggled
I don't
me
know
that,
why.
Yeah, like our calendars definitely always Sunday through Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, but you go to church on Sunday and like Sabbath.
Nothing really defines a week.
Yeah.
So when you get in the routine of the last day is the rest day. Yeah. Whatever. You can book in the week if you want to. You can put them on the other thing. You could put them in the middle. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, there's nothing actual. There's no structure to it.
I want the week to start on Wednesday. How about that?
Why not, right? Wednesday's the new Sunday or Monday.
Depending on your calendar.
I think maybe one of the more interesting things about this too, and I know you've thought of this one, is that even though he aligned, this is being a Roman convert back then would have been very interesting because Roman theology was crazy. There's so much, it's so involved, it's all over the place. He aligned it to Christianity, the weeks, but the days of the week are named completely after the Roman gods. which are actually tied back to the Babylonian planets. Right? So here we go. Sunday. Pretty obvious. So it's the sun.
Yeah.
And that might be why Sunday's on the left in a lot of places, because it's the first planet. It's the first celestial body. It's not a planet. It's the first celestial body in the sky.
Right.
Boom. Sunday is the first. And of course, these are the things that you observe. So Earth is not on the list. Monday for the moon.
Okay.
Okay. Tuesday is Tyr or Tu, the Norse god of Mars. I don't know. It's Mars. Wednesday is Odin or Mercury.
Wait.
Because they name like the planets, or like they also put god names on them too.
But how does Wednesday correlate to Odin?
Because it is Woden / Odin.
Oh,
So I'm not exactly sure how that
Gotcha.
etymology works, but Mercury was Odin, like it represented Odin's, I don't know, whatever, his planet or something like that.
right.
Thursday, you know this one, Thor,
Yeah.
Jupiter. So Thor was represented by Jupiter, Jupiter represented by Thor, whatever. Friday, Frigg / Freya,
Oh, like
Venus.
like so it's really all Norse mythology. Right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a weird mix, I think, of like,
Right, 'cause
there's a lot of alignment between, yeah, you're right, Norse because of like Thor and whatever.
Thor, Odin, and Frigga, right? They're
Yes, you're right. That is Norse. It's not. So it's very weird that all of a sudden the Norse are involved. I was saying Roman, but you're right. All of them are Norse. So I couldn't tell you. I don't know how we got there.
But it's still like,
But they're named after the planets,
that's
basically.
crazy. Yeah.
So planets 7 days of the week. These planets, Norse named the planets or something. So did everybody else. And for some reason, we kept the Norse ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Saturday for Saturn.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's just how we do names. So I have no idea. Yeah. Why did we shift the start of the year to January 1st? Because it was March for a long time. March 1st.
Oh, right.
This was because a war in Spain caused Roman consuls, they took office on March 1st, but because they were fighting a war in Spain in 153 BC, the war required the consuls to be in their posts earlier. And so they just moved it up to January because it made more sense from a military logistics point of view. Because they're like, we need these guys to be ready. We need them now. We need them in office.
Mm-hmm.
The next start of the next month is January. So guess what? January starts the year because they start next year.
Oh,
so we're moving what we call the start of the year.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if that didn't happen, if they weren't fighting a war in Spain, we probably would still have the New Year's in March, which actually kind of aligns with like Chinese New Year. Or is that January? Somebody was saying something about some kind of New Year recently or something like that. I might be making stuff up. So anyway, but I mean, of course, spring is always like kind of like the rebirth season, you know what I mean? The new growth and all of that stuff. So it always is symbolized the beginning. So it kind of does make sense.
Chinese New Year this year was in February 17th.
Okay, so I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Why do they do their New Year then? Is they're all weird?
I have absolutely no idea. I have no idea. I think me and you, need to challenge ourselves to do more like Asian-based learning.
Yes.
Because I have no idea.
Yeah.
And most everything I know is westernized. But I have no idea where to even begin. So
yeah, I don't need. We've dabbled. We've dabbled a little bit, but anything, east of like Europe.
Yeah,
all of that.
Yes,
we haven't even touched.
Nope.
Right.
Just nope. So challenge to ourselves maybe to pick up on that a little bit more
for sure.
All right, we have to talk about it. Daylight saving time.
No. It doesn't exist. It should be trash.
You are going to be so mad from the research that I found.
We don't need it.
Daniel, you are right. You are right. I got to read this stuff to you.
It's literally just for farmers.
It's not even that. It's not. It's worse.
Okay.
You're going to hate this so much. Again, everybody go do your own research. This is what at least partly, not fully attributed to this. A person who can oftentimes be associated with inventing daylight savings time was not Ben Franklin. Some people say that it could have been. New Zealand entomologist named George Hudson.
An entomologist out of all things?
Yes.
He didn't even specialize in time?
No, bugs. Yep. He proposed it in 1985 because he wanted more daylight after work to go collect bugs. So maybe at least in part.
How do you even propose that?
It's like, you know what? I need an extra hour. Let's just ask the government to just move time for me. If true, crazy. I don't know.
Did he at least do anything with his time? Did he discover new bugs?
I don't know who George Hudson is. So
George Hudson. I'm going to put that on my little sticky note.
Major accomplishments.
Traditional spelling or G or J?
Yeah, nope. George, just like normal, like George Washington. So, I'm sorry, what?
George Hudson.
George
right?
Hudson.
Okay.
Yeah. The first country to actually use daylight savings time for like kind of a legitimate purpose was Germany in 1916 during World War I, and they did it to save on coal.
How does that?
So if you move it around, then you're going to bed when it's light out. You don't have to burn coal. There you go. Something like that. Britain and US actually followed that very, very shortly after. This is crazy. I did not know this, Daniel, because we were kicking around at this time. In the United States, daylight savings time was extended in 2007 by a week.
What do you mean?
Instead of turning our clocks back in fall in like October, they moved it to November. You have any idea why?
In 2007, you said?
Yep.
2007. Let's see.
It has nothing to do with that year.
It has nothing to do with 07?
Nope. But it just so happened to be when it happened
to be in 07.
Yep.
In November of 07.
Uh-huh.
We lost 2 hours? An hour? Do we go back?
You keep the long evenings for one more week. Instead of the last week of October, it's the first week of November.
I don't know. Why?
At least partly because of Halloween and candy. So apparently, the candy industry had been lobbying Congress since the 80s to push it a week, because if your nights are longer and you have more daylight, you can have more trick-or-treaters and more candy sales.
It's always about the money.
So, candy industry lobbyist reportedly placed candy pumpkins on the seat of every U.S. senator during the 1986 lobbying push. Dastardly. Although I like the longer nights, I was going to say we've talked about this before, if we change, I would like to stay on longer night mode or longer day mode, whatever we're on like right now. We're in the summer, the sun sets after 9 p.m.
Yes.
I like that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I like that.
I do like, because then you can, like, okay, it's dark when I go to work. Who cares? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's the after work that I care about.
Yep.
So, which is crazy because Hawaii doesn't have a time change.
Yeah, some people decide to not do it. So And they're a little bit more equatorial, so it doesn't affect them so much.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that too.
Yeah, I just think it's weird. Like some parts of the year, they're 4 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Some parts of the year, they're 3 hours ahead.
Yep.
So it's like they don't change, we change.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. This one's fun. In 1999, we're still talking about daylight savings time.
Okay.
Israel had just switched back to standard time, but a group of terrorists in the West Bank had made a bunch of time bombs and handed them off.
Oh no.
The bombs were set on West Bank time. And so these bombers were trying to get in place, but they were on Israel time, which was an hour different. And so the bombs went off an hour early. So it killed the bombers instead of any citizens, instead of 2 busloads of passengers that they had targeted. So daylight savings saved some lives.
There you go.
So it's not for nothing, everybody.
Whatever, George. It's so funny because I'm like trying to find anything important of just George Hudson.
I already forgot.
And the thing that pops up is freaking daylight savings. I'm like,
oh, there you go. That's what he's famous for.
I'm like,
bugs?
No. I'm sure he is. I'm sure if I
we'll have to look into it, but see if we can find
the first things that popped up. He's like, attributed to daylight savings.
Yep, there you go.
Come on,
Daniel.
Entomologist.
We'll see if we can take that off and go figure some actual bug stuff out. See if you publish any papers. We can't talk about the calendar without talking about one of the craziest events that we lived through. The end of the world in 2012.
Oh my gosh. 2012.
Remember that?
Yeah. The Mayan calendar ended, dude.
Yep. And there's still conspiracy theories that that the world ended in 2012 and we're just stuck in our unconscious living out some kind of collective nightmare. I don't know. That's pretty intense and I don't like it. So did not put on my tin foil hat for that one.
That's wild into me. Like
that conspiracy, the belief in that conspiracy,
the belief that the world was actually going to end. Cause it was like, it was almost like Y2K, you know, like when everybody was freaking out and what's going to happen. I feel like that was like the same vibes, but for 2012, I'm like, guys, really, it's just another day.
Yeah, exactly. So why did we even have this freak out anyway? So the Mayan had something called a long count calendar. And it's a cycle of like 394 years. I have no idea why that number. But the end of that cycle was 2012.
Yeah.
It happened to be then. So people just made huge leaps and really big leaps. The Mayans never said anything about that being the end of the world or anything like that. It was the beginning of a new cycle because they lived things in cycles. So it was just the start of whatever the next cycle would be. They actually have other inscriptions that include dates billions of years into the future.
Really?
For some reason, people just decide to be like, this is one. So, so this is funny. The apocalypse, in quotes, was entirely invented by modern Western writers in the 80s and 90s. NASA actually pre-published a press release titled "Why the World Didn't End Yesterday" on December 22nd, 2012, before December 21st had even passed. So it was, I don't know, some writers in the 80s and 90s getting crazy because it sounded cool and fun.
Right.
And for some reason, everybody decided that they wanted to be scared of it. So I don't know.
I love how when that date passed, there are just videos like almost immediately coming up like, whoa. Oh no! They forgot to include like leap years and
yes, they're
stuff.
right. So like we're off by like 2 more months or something. Yes, it's this whole conversation again. Yes, they did their calendar math wrong. They didn't know that. I remember that. Oh my gosh, I had kind of forgot a lot about that until I started thinking about it. I was like, oh gosh, that's going to come up again. So it was as dumb as it sounded. Let's go out here on a scientific note. Getting a little windy here, but I think it's very fun.
I'm loving it.
Time, of course, takes a long time to talk about. So in 1967, we're like, okay, cool. We can't just call a second because it's 1/886,400th of a day, right? That's how many seconds are in a day.
Okay.
In 24 hours, I should say. Because Earth's rotation is actually inconsistent. And it's slowing down because of the moon. Remember, the tidal locking is actually slowing the Earth's rotation down. So what they decided to do is do it something based on something more grounded in science. So they decided a second would last precisely 9,192,631,770 oscillations of a cesium-133 atom. Nice.
Yeah.
It's so precise that most modern atomic clocks lose less than 1 second in 300 million years. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Let's see. So that helps keep actual time. So we're not based on like Earth time, which is interesting. The other thing, I guess, until you start getting into weird things like relativity, this is how you, like, if you went to Mars and you didn't get near light speed on your way, right, and you didn't experience any weird time dilation or anything like that, that's how you have like synced time. Like you can have Earth time while you're on Mars and still kind of know what time it is because you're counting oscillations of an atom,
right,
and not anything else.
Right.
So that's kind of why that's useful. Pretty ridiculous, but they did that with a lot of things, like what a meter is as well. They're like, it's how far light travels in this precise amount of seconds, which is based on this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is really funny. All of this effort into making as accurate a calendar as we can. In order to keep atomic time, astronomical time, everything in sync, we actually had to invent a leap second, which is added to the last minute of June or December whenever is needed. So how that works is whenever that's added, a clock reads, since 1972, 27 leap seconds have been added, which is weird. A leap second means that the clock reads 23:59:60 before flipping to midnight.
What?
So like 11:59, like normally you'd go 11:59:59 zeros, midnight, right? But with a leap second, it goes 11:59:60, then zeros. So it just took,
I see.
a little second right in there.
Yeah.
Which is funny. In 2015, they added a leap second, and several major internet systems crashed because their code hadn't properly accounted for a minute with 61 seconds in it.
Oh my gosh.
So that was probably more of an effect than Y2K was.
Yeah.
That was kind of the same idea that computers weren't going to know what to do with that. But
yeah.
They forgot to account with it for a leap second. Which I don't know if they like advertise it. Like, hey, everybody, this June, there's going to be a leap second.
They must.
I don't know when the last leap second was. We've experienced several of them, apparently, at least one. Actually, this is interesting. So everybody pay attention to the next leap second because they're going to be phased out by 2035.
Leap seconds are going to be phased out.
They're going to be phased out.
Why?
The implication of this is that atomic time and astronomical time are going to drift apart.
Oh.
1 second every 300 million years. Actually, sorry, that's not the right thing. Just kidding. That's a different thing, apparently. Whatever. This is all so confusing. They will drift apart by as much as a minute over the next century.
Oh, that's significantly different.
It's significantly different. However, they decided that maintaining that link causes more problems for modern computer systems than it solves. So they're like, you know what? Meh. It doesn't matter. Like, we went through all of this effort to make it so precise just to be like, close enough. So eventually, like in 100 years, they'll have to add probably a leap minute or something. I don't know how long they'll let it add up to,
right?
But they'll have to add something back in,
right?
But at this point, they're like,
not worth it.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah,
not our problem.
Yeah, not our problem. 100 years from now, person's problem.
So that takes us to everywhere from 5,000 years ago to 100 years in the future. Time calendar. I mean, it's just amazing that the system that we use is just a complete mashup of people's opinions and vibes and desires and pettiness and frustrations. And their own self-interested agendas. Looking at you, George Hudson. And I mean, at the end of the day, it works. It works.
I guess it does.
So, I don't know how you feel about that, Daniel.
I'm just gonna go out there and start peddling my own
the Daniel time system.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I would like to see the Daniel calendar.
It would probably be really terrible.
I mean, that's honestly the question, though, is like, if there is no definition of this, like, what is there a best way to do it? Is this as good as it gets? Is it fine? Does it matter? And I think that's kind of where I landed, was it kind of doesn't matter. Like, each day is a day. Wake up and go do it, because that's what you have.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you call it. It's what you have.
Mm-hmm.
So again, time versus like science time versus the actual time that you experience.
Well, let's just go back.
It's all different.
Let's just go back to 5-day rolling work week.
Daniel's with the Bolsheviks. Wow.
As long as I get paid, and in my one day I can do whatever I want.
Oh man, what sounds worse, the decimal time or the 5-day rolling work week? It's got to be the rolling work week, but decimal time would just be so frustrating. I would just be like, I would go back to just the sun again. I'd be like, I don't know.
You wake
up in the morning and go to bed at night.
Your sundial that's on your wrist.
Yes. I'm going old school. Oh my gosh.
But is there a moon dial?
I don't know. I don't know that you can as reliably tell time from the moon. I haven't thought of that. I mean, you certainly can't, because it produces a different amount of light and it drifts way differently in the sky. So it'd have to account for all of the changes that the moon to Earth relationship is over the course of a year.
Moon dials are timepieces similar to sundials, using the moon to cast shadows on a marked dial. The most basic moon dial is accurate only on night of the full moon.
Yeah.
Every night after that, it loses on average 48 minutes. Well, every night preceding the full moon, it gains 48 minutes.
That, Daniel, you would have a watch that is a moon dial. Just a moon dial time. It's a digital interface that has digital numbers, but it's moon time.
It's a moon dial.
You would do that.
That's going to be part of the Daniel time system.
Yes, it's all on moon time. With your time is tidally based. High tide is noon.
Exactly.
Every high tide is noon. Every low tide is midnight.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So there you go. That was a long conversation about time, but it cracked me up as I was reading through all of this stuff. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Oh man. So anyway, I suppose we should wrap it up there, Daniel. You have anything to say to the folks? Any plugs? Anything cool going on?
No.
That's fine.
Sorry, folks.
We haven't asked this in a while. Wherever you're listening to us, if you haven't already, hit the follow or the subscribe, whatever they call it on whatever platform you're listening to. It actually does make a difference. And it's nice to know exactly what's going on in our community. See how many people are listening and paying attention, and having a good time and learning stuff. So follow us on wherever you listen, and go check out the Instagram. We do some stuff there, and Patreon. Got some bonus episodes and stuff that we do over there. Those are very fun. A different style than what we normally do here. So if you like what we do here, go check out some other stuff over there at patreon.com/doing learning. And I think that's it. I think that's all the things. Daniel has nothing. That's cool.
I got nothing.
His mind is blown over there, folks.
I'm mad at time.
He's mad at time. So anyways, I had so much fun doing this one. All of this stuff sounds crazy, and it makes me feel like I did not do good research. You know what I mean? Because it just sounds so bizarre, bonkers, crazy. So if any of it's in question, just remember, go out there, do your own research, stay curious. Be on time.
Moon time.
Moon time. Be on moon time.